Night. So, according to the Miami Herald and Adam Beasley, 2 days in a row, we're talking about a Beasley column, is that Xavien Howard has expressed to the Dolphins that he wants an increase in salary.
Yeah, not a surprise. I think we know that's out there that he wants to get paid again. He switched agents. I think he has 3 agents in 3 years or something like that.
Ooh.
So,
know why? You want to know how these agent conversations go?
No, I don't. I mean, I do want to know. I don't know how they go. Go ahead.
So basically what happens is that once you negotiate a contract for him, you get a piece of that whole contract.
Right.
So agents, they just hose everybody down.
What if your ass gets fired though? Like you still get your cut like every year, or you just get a piece of the first pie?
You only get what you make. You only get what you make if you get cut or you sign a new contract.
No. I know, but like when an agent gets his cut of the contract, does he get a piece every time it comes out, or does he get paid
when
you
get paid? So you get a bill every year. But here's how that works. So you know who was famous for this is who's the agent down here?
Rosenhaus?
Yeah. He would basically get a whole lot of people from other agents. He'd say, you come and say, I can make you more money than that. Sign with me.
He's a weasel.
We'll go renegotiate. No, they'll do it. Why wouldn't you? You have nothing to lose. You ain't taking no money out of your pocket to go and get a big name player and try to negotiate a new contract.
Well, I'm sure when he saw the money that Bye-Bye Jones got going into last year, and then he had the year that he had, I'm sure that he's looking at that and saying, yeah, I want some more.
But here's the problem. There's some middle ground in this that I'm willing to go. Like I believe, and I've always said to you, nobody ever says when an NFL team cuts a player that the team was under contract. So I don't want to hear it when a player says, I want more money, even though he's under contract, because people are quick to throw that out there. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about on TV, radio, fans, or whatever. Ready to throw that out there. But you give me that same energy when a team cuts a player. In most cases, you're like, good riddance. Woo, how much cap space did we free up?
He's just outside the. Oh, all right, Bam. Well, we'll give you a chance to win $1,000 right now. Maybe
Xavien, if you're listening, here you go.
Here you go, man. We got some dough for you right here. Text the word baseball to 72881.
Take a nap with your money.
Text baseball to 72881, and you are entered into our ballpark cash contest. Your chance to win $1,000. Text the word baseball to 72881. It is a national contest. Message and data rates may apply, but over the cap has at total guarantee right now. Bye-Bye Jones is third in the league. First is Marlon Humphrey from the Ravens. He is I guess he has the biggest contract right now,
and he just signed.
Signed it,
right? Yeah. But so
Jalen Ramsey's number 2, although Jalen Ramsey has the total value as the biggest. And then you have Bye-Bye Jones, total guarantee. He's number 3 in the league at $54 million. Xavien is number 4 at $46 million.
Now, here's the deal, though. One of the things that, and you very rarely see this with quarterbacks, because quarterbacks understand that if I set the bar at X, the following year, if a person is free, he's going to make more than that. Like, that's just the nature of the sport. That's the nature of business. So although I'm not going to be mad at Xavien Howard for, saying I want more money or try to get it, or his agent trying to get him more money, I am going to say that he needs to understand that he may still be the highest paid, even if it doesn't show up in monetary wise, just because of when he signed his contract.
Well, I think,
you can't then go back and say, "Oh, I'm better than him." You can't keep doing that.
No, but I think the thing that's weird here is the fact that they're on the same team, right? Like that's the thing that makes it weird, is that a guy on his team makes more than him, and he sees himself as the A side. He's the better guy.
Okay, but I've never what happens is if you want that player, then you give him a contract that gets that player. Not,
I agree. But is there? is there a part of that? Like, I don't know if this would work out. It probably doesn't work out the same at running back because nobody pays two running backs like this. But
right,
like if you were on a team, and especially if you were on that team, like the team that drafted you, and you got a good contract, they gave you a really good contract, and then they brought in somebody else and said, Leroy, we don't want you to be the it's probably the trend. I know the positions don't perfectly translate, but let's just say in a fantasy world,
right,
they give another guy a big contract because they say, hey, this guy's better at this, and he's going to make a little bit more than you. You still make good money, but not.
But see, I don't look at it that way, because if I signed a big contract 2 years ago, if they sign anybody to play my position that's any good, he's probably going to make more than me simply because
they brought him in
of when they signed. He signed 2 years after me.
But then you go and you rush for. But basically, what Xavien Howard did this year is then he went and rushed for 2,000 yards and bye Jones.
Right. But again, like, it's not a slight on Xavien Howard as to why Bye Jones makes more than him. You think they would have got Bye Jones and say, look, Xavien Howard is our guy. We're not going to pay you as much as we pay him. He would say, have a nice day.
I just like that you've been calling him Bye Jones too. For those who don't know, Byron Jones, I've nicknamed him Bye Jones because, he picks off your pass and then he goes bye-bye to the end zone. Not quite as good as I understand as throw it near Noah. He's going to pick off your thrower, which Noah Benogany also likes. Got to come up with a saying for X, but I think it speaks for itself. His nickname is X. It's kind of as cool as it gets.
I think that Noah needs to get in somebody's way before he tries to pick a pass off.
Oh, he's coming back. This is a comeback season for Noah.
So somebody says, so if X has a down year, can we renegotiate a pay cut? That's what happens. That's my point.
Yeah, it does.
That's my point. Nobody ever says, wait a minute, he had an off year, but we're under contract with him. Let's pay him. They go, hey, June 1st, we're going to renegotiate that contract. So I'm kind of torn in that the reason why Byron Jones is paid more money has more to do with when he got his contract and less to do with them thinking he's better than Xavien Howard.
Yeah, 100%.
And I would say,
and going into that year, Xavien was coming off the injury. Remember, we all thought when they drafted Igbenogany, we're like, I don't know what that means for Xavien. He's gone, but he goes and he has this incredible season. So like, it felt like the signs were there that they were going to move on from Xavien Howard. It's just that then he goes and
he was the highest paid corner when he signed.
Yeah, he was.
Right.
But a lot of people, I know that I've read this, that like people said when he signed that contract, like he's not going to be happy with that for very long because he's going to get beat out by a lot of guys. And I know that's naturally how it works, but then he goes and has this incredible season.
Right. But I would say that one of the reasons why I'm always torn behind this, I'm never going to tell a guy what to do and how to make or how to try to achieve his goals as far as money. Not going to do that. But I will say to the fans that if you have a problem with this, if he has a bad year and you say, oh, let's cut that salary, you don't ever hold the team, with the same,
just
in the same way
Noy.
that you do the player. Right.
Right. Just
like,
with
what
Kyle
about Van Noy? He really didn't do anything wrong.
No, he was Kyle Van Noy.
Right. So, I didn't hear anybody say, what? We signed him to a contract. He didn't really do anything wrong. Why are we getting rid of him? You know what you said? How much space does that clear up? That's it. So like the player part of me understands, why he's doing it. But I try to be fair, and if he's using the excuse that they now have a guy making more money that plays his position on his own team, you almost have to be real with it yourself and go about it a different way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and if I'm him, I almost want to take a swing at this year because, bro, I mean, how many years are you going to have 10 interceptions? You know, like it's one of the. I'm not saying I'm not calling his year lucky, but it's not. It's not.
It's an anomaly.
It's going to be a crazy thing
context,
to go replicate.
I think that's more interceptions that Byron Jones has had as an entire career. I know he had 2.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's not his thing. Bye Jones doesn't. I think did Byron Jones only have 2 coming into his career?
Into the season, he only had 2.
Coming into the season,
yeah.
So
here's the other thing, right? I can just see this after next year. He has 10 picks last year. And this upcoming year, he has 3.
Right.
And we're going to overlook the fact that teams quit throwing to him.
Yep.
Throwing his way. And we're going to look at it like, I mean, that's what made Deion so good. Deion didn't have to play football that much because they were looking at the other side of the field.
Do you think that if he doesn't show up to minicamp next week, because that's another element to this? Now, I think Beasley wrote in that article, it's still a possibility he shows up and just kind of does rehab, like just so he doesn't get fined. Like in Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here so I don't get fined. But if he doesn't show up, and I think he has like some event, like he has some event in the tropics, like the next week. Like if he doesn't show up, then is it going to be like, all right, are we going to start fielding trade? Are we going to start fielding trade stuff for him, or do you think it's still going to? He'll still show up to camp when it comes down to it.
I would say I would look poorly on his agent because you're asking the team to do you a solid. You can't go in and demand anything. Mm. You see what I mean? You're in one of those.
But it's a new agent.
It's not.
Maybe
it's not like your contract is up in a year and you want something done now.
Right.
You just signed a contract.
But it's not the agent you negotiated with.
It don't matter. Like it's easy. It's easy when you don't have anything to lose, right? It's easy for your agent to play chicken with your career because he don't lose. Guess what? If you get fined $150,000, how much does that agent pay?
I don't know. I don't know.
None.
You're the math major. Well,
None.
I'm guessing for you. I'm guessing for this situation though. Like when you say that you're looking to do isn't the agent the new agent? He's not the guy that signed the original deal. So isn't the agent's whole point to make things uncomfortable, like to make it to try and get extra deal?
So he could get paid. But when you have all these outsiders playing these games with careers, the only person that pays for it is the player.
Right.
And they put something in his ear to lead him to believe that his contract was not fair. Even though just 2 years ago he was the highest paid corner.
Little Spoon Society says, I love X and I want him to get paid. I'm just wondering, what is his value? Would it be 2 firsts?
I don't know about that, man. With his contract, I don't know if he can get a first round pick. We just saw it with Julio Jones.
No, but
he's still young though, dude.
He's younger than Julio Jones, yes.
Whoa.
Like Julio.
Whoa.
What?
There's 2 different situations.
Yeah, I think that's 2 different, because he's like Julio coming off, I know his injuries too.
He played 9 games last year and he's 32.
Yeah, X is 28 and coming off a 10 interception season. I feel like he's got to, Robbie. I feel like he's still got plenty of years left.
Contract stuff makes things complicated. Like it's always not that simple.
But here's right, because with it's weird because draft picks don't do nothing for salary cap space in football. But I will say this is that it depends on who it is. And the reason why I say that is this. If I'm Kansas City and you say I can have Xavien Howard for a first-round pick, where's that first-round pick going to be? I don't care.
True.
Because I'm never going to be able to get a Xavien Howard at that pick.
Well, Xavien Howard himself was a second-round pick.
That can contribute that quick. It usually doesn't happen. Xavien Howard is the exception to that rule. So here. What are the chances of me in the 31st or 30th or 32nd pick finding a Xavien Howard?
Everyone keeps pointing up Jalen Ramsey and Jamal Adams both got 2 first-round picks, but that was
They were top 5 picks, weren't they?
And Ramsey was towards the end of his rookie year.
They weren't paid yet.
Yeah, they weren't paid yet.
They weren't paid yet. They weren't paid yet.
But, so let's but my whole thing is this, and I don't know his agent. But the only way he could sign him is to say he was going to go making more money, because what would be the point?
I agree.
And so now they're going to do these things to try to get him to redo his contract. And I don't know, his contract might be crappy. Okay, but there's a way to go about it when in the end, you need to have a good rapport with the team in order to get this done? Does Flo seem like, or does Greer seem like the type of people that you're gonna go and strong arm and make demands of?
No, it feels like anybody who's so far done that has been
right. You gotta read the room.
Yeah.
You gotta read the room.
Well, they've also never had a player like they've been in a situation where they haven't had a player this good either.
Right. But again, think about this. You also have to consider this. You have another guy making more than you on the other side. And if you come in and make demands, they already feel like they got a quality cornerback. Now, what's more important, the cornerback or the pass rush?
Probably the pass rush, because the quarterback is irrelevant.
Right.
Pass rush.
Exactly. So are you gonna really bow down to a cornerback? Or are you gonna say, you know what? That's fine. You know what? We'll work a trade out for you. And then you start kicking the tires on, let's bring another pass rusher in. Let's bring another, because a great pass rush lowers the level of cornerback you need to have. It does.
I think the other thing too that you also have to be concerned with is he's a guy who's had some injury concerns in his career.
All reasons. Look, all reasons why, if Xavien Howard and his camp want to do this, all reasons as to why you need to be careful how you go about it.
Right.